So the big takeaway, of course, from this gathering of Fortune 500 CEOs was that Trump's policies are not working. And of course, many of these industries have indeed been impacted by Donald Trump's tariffs, his trade war, and they've said that, look, we no longer have the ability to absorb these costs. Not that they were absorbing much of it to begin with, but they did admit, hey, look, we tried to kind of cut costs in other areas so that we didn't have to pass it on to the consumer, but really there's nowhere else to cut. There really, for a lot of them, weren't places to cut to begin with, so all of it got passed on to the consumers. But yes, as per usual, these CEOs warned, we're making the consumers pay higher prices because of what Trump is doing. Now, that's not a surprise to anybody, or at least it shouldn't be. You see the higher prices when you go to the store. That's not just because they can, it's because they really kind of have to if they want to keep those profits as high as they've ever been. And they do. They could, let's make this very clear here, because I'm not going to say that these companies are victims by any stretch. These are companies, they're Fortune 500 companies. They could afford to reduce profit to not pass the increases on to you. So let's make sure everybody's in agreement with that. They don't have to do it. No matter what they say, they don't have to. They could just make a little less for the shareholders and the CEOs. But they won't do that, so we pay higher prices. They're doing that so that they can keep all of the millions and millions and millions in profits they make per year.